I know you're working on a special story. Joe Thomas headed into the Hall of Fame. We're assuming, but I think it's a pretty good assumption. The question is, how much above 90% is he going to get? How much above 90? Take us through what you're working on with that and what you found out as you did the story.
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. I'm trying to do a couple different things before the announcement Thursday night. So I talked to Joe last week. I talked to Phil Savage, the GM that drafted him, Alex Mack, who played center with him for a couple of years, or at the start of his career, of Alex's career. And just real quick from all three of them, Joe, we know he played that streak snap, the 10,363. And Joe is so proud of that. So I asked him, the worst pain. And he said he thought it was 2012, the end of the season. He said he had back spasms for 4 straight weeks at the end of the season, where he couldn't tie his shoes. He had double back braces. He went through all these things just to be able to play. And if you've ever had back spasms, they're awful. And you can't, I've tried to play golf and you can't play golf. And he's playing football for a month is amazing. His knee was so bad that he couldn't even stand to watch practice. He would go to the trainer's room and take pain medication to talk to the media for 10 minutes. So he could stand up to talk to the media for 10 minutes. His knee hurt that bad. Savage just said it was a logical pick. He didn't know he was going to be a Hall of Famer. He said, well, if he's bad at left tackle, we can play him at right tackle. We can play him at guard. He's going to play somewhere. And then Joe just worked so hard and had all these intangibles that made him a Hall of Famer. And then I thought Alex was funny, Alex Mack. He said he was complaining to Joe when he was a rookie. He goes, the coach keeps telling me he's all over me about my hand placement. He won't leave me alone. And he said Joe just looked at him and said, would you ever think about putting your hands where the coach tells you to? And it just got to Joe's matter of fact. And Joe always knew what to do, right? And he's telling a rookie, well, just do it. Just do it the right way.
When's that come out, and where can folks find it?
Yeah, the first one will be in brownzone.com tomorrow morning. And then I think Thursday morning, I'm going to do one about just the bond he created with the other offensive linemen. They still text each other all the time.
The amazing thing about it, you think about guys what they're doing on draft day. He went fishing. I love that. That's one of my favorite all-time. Yeah, we're going to go fishing, and I'll figure out where I am.
Right, which makes him such a, that's what one of the things Savage talked about. He's just a perfect fit for Cleveland, and that's a prime example, right? He's a blue-collar guy, and Joe does think, he says he'll take a lot of pride in, there's not a lot of guys anymore that will go in the Hall of Fame having played only for one team, and Joe obviously will, and he had a chance to, kind of force his way out of town late, and Peyton Manning asked him to do that because the Broncos needed a left tackle, and Joe said no. He goes, I want to finish here. And this is in the midst of the Browns going 1-31 those last 2 years.
Yeah, the other thing is, think about all those snaps from. It's one thing, and I get it. Quarterback, you take but I don't think TV shows you how much of a beating offensive and defensive linemen take on every snap.
Oh, there's no doubt, and he played through so much. And one of the things Phil Savage pointed out is, guys motivate themselves by the idea of going to the playoffs, right? Hey, we have this chance, so I'm going to keep playing. Maybe we can go to the Super Bowl. For Joe, so many of the years were rebuilding years, right? The only winning season he had was his rookie year in 2007, yet he showed up every snap despite no hope of going to the playoffs way too many times.